Now, let's get to our first conversation today. We have two interesting conversations, as always, very interesting one. Let's start. The National Automotive Design and Development Council, that's the NADDC, and the Bureau of Public Procurement now have signed a strategic document on the implementation of the First Nigeria Policy, which is an initiative of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Now, the signing of the document is aimed at strengthening the collaborative engagement between the two agencies towards ensuring proper implementation of the First Nigeria Policy in the area of procurement of made-in-Nigeria vehicles by the public sector. Now, speaking during the signing ceremony in Abuja, the Director General and CEO of the NADDC, Mr. Oluwemimo Joseph Osanipin, said for too long, Nigeria has been a consumer of foreign-made automotive products, a trend that he stated has limited the country's economic potential and hindered the growth of the nation's local assemblers. The Director General of the NADDC therefore urged procuring entities to see the policy not as a regulatory burden, but as a commitment to national development. Well, on his part, the Director General of the Bureau of Public Procurement, Mr. Adebowale Adedokun, said the Nigerian First policy, which would cover areas such as ICT, textile and apparel, furniture, amongst others, he stated that the automotive sector ranks highest on full adherence to the policy. Well, let's talk to Mr. Oluwemimo Joseph Osanipin. He's the Director General of the National Automotive Design and Development Council. He joins me live from our Abuja studios. DG, it's good to have you on the show. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Tolu.
Yes, thank you so much for your time. I think I should allow you first tell us more about this, your MOU. It seems very interesting to me, following up on the president's move for the Nigeria First policy. Tell us more about this before we dig deep into what it holds for Nigerians.
Yes, about a year ago, in 2025, the president made that proclamation about Nigerian First policy. And what that policy simply means that let's put Nigerian first in whatever we do. Let's consider the interests of Nigerian first. So when you go to production, let's consume what we produce in Nigeria. So by so doing, we are going to create employment, we are going to expand the market, we are going to conserve foreign reserve. A lot of things have to be done. And because of that, it has a lot of benefits. The Nigerian First policy have a lot of benefits. And for automotive, it's unique because in automotive is linked to different other sectors. Do you want to talk of steel? You want to talk of fabric? You want to talk of textile? You want to everywhere you turn to, you see that one sector or the other, they contribute to building automotive sector. And that's why it is very, very critical that we take automotive first and we take automotive, address all the issues concerning automotive. By so doing, we are addressing other issues. So when we came together, that is we in NADDC and BPP, we are looking at the procurement made or being made by MDAs, that is Ministry Department and agencies across the federal level. And we know that the volume of the procurement, especially automobile and that's when I say automobile, that's vehicle, being procured by these MDAs is so much and so large. And charity begin at home. If we say Nigerian First policy, let's start with our own. Let's start with the procurement made by government. And that's why we came together and we said we want to start with MDA in the federal level. And what that document we signed is just the implementation document that states out the guideline for implementation or for procurement of vehicles. Firstly, every vehicle that have to be bought by MDAs must be from local assemblers. We have a lot of local assemblers today. We have about 28 on the list of local assembler. We will continue to review the list and ensure that those that appear on the list are those that can provide after-sales service. Not only will they provide the vehicle, but they provide after-sales care. And out of this, there are different brands they produce. You have a utility vehicle, passenger car, commercial bus, and any kind of, even SUV. So when you look at all these brands, all this type of vehicle, these are the ones that MDAs usually buy. And we are now saying to the MDAs, if you want to use public funds to buy vehicle for you or for operational use, this vehicle have to be the one that will contribute to the economy. We don't want to empower or contribute positively to a foreign economy. Let's contribute to our own economy. Let's build our own. We need to create more jobs. We need to conserve foreign reserve, and we even need to export, because by the time you start producing, then more people will invest in parts production. When I mean parts, component parts that make up vehicle, and a lot of component parts we have talked to, they want the industry to flourish so that they will be able to build and support the after sales, because after sales, even the economy after sales is even more than the one about the new vehicles. And it is when you buy the new vehicle, you are building after sales market. That's one. And number two, even we want to develop our second-hand market, used vehicle market. It is when government buy these vehicles, they use it for some time. Either they sell it by bond it and sell it, auction it out, either to the users or to staff of federal government. Then that will be the secondary user. Those people will become the secondary user. And by so doing, we are building the second-hand markets for our vehicles. So that's why it is very, very important and critical that we encourage all MDAs to adhere to this policy and make it work.
Indeed, I think that's a good opening note to this conversation, DG. But let me follow up with this question. The MOU, what does it stipulate? Yes, I know you might not be able to give us all of the details, but how do you think that you'll be able to achieve this? Because that is my own concern. We have good policies. We have put pen to paper on so many policies of government. But this very one you're talking about, if properly implemented, we know that the positives would be obvious across the board. So tell us, what is different about this agreement? Why do you think that the MDAs would oblige to this one?
Firstly, before we came up with this, we have stakeholder engagement.
Okay.
We met BPP. And BPP, when you talk about procurement, they are the agency in charge of that. They know every vehicle that has been procured by MDAs across the board. And if you want certificate of no objection, that is especially for vehicle. So it is through them. And what we have done with this is that we have put it down there, black and white, that you cannot procure outside these assemblers. So that's the first step. For you to procure, it must be within this assembler. And if you want to go outside, the criteria, the guidelines you have to follow will be so discouraging, because it's going to be so much that you would prefer to just go back and do it, firstly. Secondly, there's procurement plan. Before you do your procurement, you submit your procurement plan to BPP. So from your procurement plan, BPP already know the number of vehicles you budgeted, you projected. That's the projected number that you want to buy. And because of that, they'll be able to map it out and have an idea of the number of vehicles each MDA we intend to buy for that year. And after the year, you have to submit reports of all the vehicles bought to BPP. So they will review and ensure that those vehicles were bought from local assemblers, and ensure that those processes, procurement, were made in line with your procurement plan. If there is any discrepancy or non-adherence to the laid down rule, they have some other sanctions that may follow. It may be they may bar such MDA from procuring more vehicles. They may even instruct Accountant General not to effect payment. So all these are part of the things we put in place, and these are the things that make it different from the other one we've done before. Because in most of the other one, BPP were not directly involved, but this one, we made BPP to be main actor here, so they are directly involved in every vehicle procurement. So they are involved from beginning to the end.
Okay, great,
And
great
that's why
stuff.
we believe this is going to work.
All right then, all right then. Now, let's practicalize this. If we purchase more of Nigerian-made goods, now in focus, we're talking about automobiles. Tell us practically how this would impact our economy in creating jobs, in, of course, spending money in country, expanding our expertise, and all of that. Tell us practically what we intend to gain as Nigerians, because we intend to have this flair for foreign goods at almost all times.
Firstly, you expand the market.
Okay.
If you know the number or the amount we spend on procurement of vehicle in the country, the amount is enormous. But I know not all these are from MDAs. So MDA is a fraction of what we spend every year. So the MDAs, the fund from the MDA will now be within Nigeria. So, for example, I mean, if you permit me, it's not advert, I may mention one or two names. For example, if you buy an Innocent is here. The fund is going to remain here. By the time you buy Innocent, you are paying for the person selling food in Innocent factory. You are paying for the people selling steel to Innocent. You are paying for people that are going to work, the technicians working in Innocent. You are paying for the painter. You are paying for all the people that work. You are paying for the security man, the gate man working there. You are going to pay for commercial vehicle driver that will take you to Innocent. You are going to pay for electricity, because these are the things that Innocent, for example, is going to use. These are the factors that Innocent are going to combine to produce a vehicle. So it means it's have a lot of multiplier effect. You are going to pay for fabric. You are going to pay for leather. Don't let me even talk about plastic, because a lot will go into plastic production. Then by the time you do this, it means some people will now come and invest in tire. Some people will invest in different kind of other parts, component parts, that vehicles that are used to make vehicles. So you are creating employment. You are conserving your foreign exchange. It means you stay here. You are expand because of the multiplier effects. As you are spending, people are spending on different parts, the first layer, second layer, third layer, and then the propensity to consume will increase, because everybody will continue to consume more, and then the multiplier effect will increase, and the economy will be better for it. And not about employment. Again, we will have opportunity to start exporting part of what we produce here in Nigeria. And other people will come up, technicians, because by the time you produce more of this, a lot of technicians will learn how to maintain Nigerian-made vehicle. Then they are going to have more technicians, well-trained technicians, that will start working on local assembled vehicle. Then the technology there will start building, because by the time we build, we are going to make mistakes. I accept that. There are going to be gap here and there. Then by the time we are making this mistake and we are seeing all these gaps, a lot of other one, like technology, tech people, the technology tech people can come in, develop different kind of applications that will support those and bridge the gap that are going to be identified. So a lot of things will come up. As we are talking, because of this, we are already talking to a lot of part manufacturers. We are talking to a lot of workshop, those people that have chains of workshop that will be maintaining all these vehicles. So it's going to be a lot, because of the ecosystem for automobile is very large. And because of that, the benefit is enormous. It covers almost every aspect of the economy. You want to talk of oil and gas, you want to talk of fabric, you want to talk of steel, you want to just mention any of the economy, auto have it will impact on that economy. That's auto activities will impact on that economy or on that sector.
Brilliant stuff. Now, let me take a step further from there. I remember clearly when I attended the Intra-Africa Trade Fair at a particular time, of blessed memory, so rest in peace, with Mr. Olusegun Awolowo. Then he was the overall executive director at the NEPC, if you will remember, at that time. And this question was raised that in Nigeria, we could manufacture, production, we could do well. But when there is demand for large quantity, most of the sessions I attended, this issue was raised. When there is now demand for large quantities, maybe 100, 200, 1 million pieces, then we start to have a challenge. And I like the fact that you also agreed that there will be some challenges. My question to you is now, as a council, what will you be doing to build capacity, to help make sure that this transition is seamless?
Okay, why we have that challenge initially is the manufacturer, they are businessmen. If you know you can, the markets you have is like 1,000 in a year, you are not going to buy material for 3,000 or 4,000. You will limit yourself to that. But immediately you know you are going to have demand for 5,000. Yes. You are going to increase your stock or raw material. And even financial institutions will come to bridge the financial gap that you may exist. Immediately they know there's market for that. But if the financial institution knows that the market for this particular product is just 500, and you want to produce 1,000, they will not even finance that 1,000. So firstly, immediately we create that market, that capacity, we start building it. And for human capacity, we also know that with this policy that there's going to be a little gap in human capacity. And as I'm telling you now, we have discussed with NBTE, and we have what is known now as a National Automotive Training Institute that is coming up very soon. That is going to train a lot of Nigerians. And then also we are looking at certification. A lot of programs we have that are not yet certified. And when you go through 1 or 2 training, they are not recognized outside the country. Because of that, we've also met NBT, and they are going to give us awarding body. So we are having NADDC, auto awarding body, that are going to give certification on different categories. We have about 9 levels of those certifications. And we have trained the quality manager, quality assurance managers, we have trained the assessors. These are the critical people. Before now, we have about 17. As I'm talking to you now, about 3 weeks ago, a lot of people we train graduated, and we have over 50 assessors. We have close to 50 quality assurance managers also that are going to go through all the training and review the training and ensure that whoever passed through this and is issued a certificate will be able to defend that certificate. So we are doing all this to build the capacity that will meet and be able to maintain the vehicle that are going to be produced in Nigeria. Because let me tell you, especially in automobile, what matters most is after sales. The same vehicle you have here is the same vehicle you have in the US, the same vehicle you have in China. But if you don't maintain that vehicle well, then you see, you hear that, oh, this vehicle will not last, this one will not. What matters is the availability of the spare part, and then the technical know-how of the technicians that will work on those vehicles. So these are what we are putting in place already to back up this policy, because what can lead to the downfall of the policy is when there is no after-sales care. And that's why we are doing all this, to support the assemblers and to give comfort to Nigerian and MDAs that will be buying these vehicles. So we have a lot, we are prepared. We know there's going to be gap. We know there are going to be 1 or 2 issues here and there, but we are learning where China was about 20, 22 years ago is where we are now. But it's always good. We start from somewhere and start building on it. And that's why we thank the Mr. President for this. Is a courageous decision that this is what we have to do. We have to take Nigerian first and patronize made in Nigerian goods.
Indeed. Now, finally, before I let you go, DG, you talked so very well about China. And I think many people are saying China is the way now. I'm talking about China vehicles. Even in Lagos, I can tell you now that we see plenty of them on the road. We have EVs, CNGs, and powered vehicles that even friends are already considering selling their fossil fuel cars and buying electric cars and going for EVs. But my question to you, because you are in charge of the council, are we ready to manage it if we get to that point where we all start to use all of these electric vehicles, CNG-powered vehicles? Do we have that capacity on ground? I know a lot of work is going on, but tell us more that we should expect. We are moving into that time where we'll start to ignore fossil fuel vehicles.
Okay. Thank you for this question, especially on CNG and electric vehicle. For CNG, the same thing with electric, because most important thing there is the infrastructure that will back up the vehicle, because you procure either electric vehicle or you procure CNG powered vehicle. You need to be able to fuel it, if it is, that is, provide gas for if it is CNG, and then charge it if it is electric vehicle. And that's why if you go through early this year, federal government approved some fund for development of infrastructure to support electric vehicle nationwide. And we are following up on that, and very soon we will see a lot of work being done on that. And government cannot do it alone. As I'm talking to you, a lot of individual or private or investors are already investing in providing infrastructure. Here in Abuja, I know there's a place along Airport Road, someone is building what's going to be the biggest charging farm. That's a charging facility in Africa. It's being built there as I'm talking to you. So a lot of people are investing, and as I'm talking to you, I know some people are coming with energy storage system, ESS, that will be able to provide energy even when there is no power, or where there is no power. Just let me put it that way. So a lot of investment is going to support clean energy, and government is supporting that. We are supporting that also with policy. We are working with all the stakeholders that we play a role in ensuring that we get there and we get it right. So we don't have problem. We gradually are moving on, and we know that with what we have done and what we have put in place, we won't have much issue concerning electric vehicle. One other thing there is maintenance of electric vehicle. Electric vehicle, you don't maintain it the way you maintain ICE vehicle, that's internal combustion engine vehicle, because the maintenance is so low compared to that. But the technical ability to carry out that maintenance is different, and the technology required and expertise required is far different from ICE vehicle. We are working on that, building and training people who will be able to maintain the electric vehicle. We've done a lot of training for CNG, so we don't have problem in converting or maintaining CNG vehicles. So as of today, we build enough capacity that can service that. But for electric vehicle, we are building the capacity as I'm talking to you now.
I must thank you so much. I've been speaking to Mr. Oluwemimo Joseph Osanipin, who is the Director General of the National Automotive Design and Development Council, NADDC. Thank you so very much, DG. Well done. Hope to see you again soon on the program.
Thank you, Tolu, for having me on your show.
All right, then.